I want to make a reference to how Western mainstream media cover the topic of people evacuated from Mariupol. It's puzzling because they have the same materials as their Russian colleagues, same settings, same witnesses. But what is extremely disappointing is that Western journalists, in most cases, clearly engage in censorship, concealing awkward information from Western public. That's the way the new Iron Curtain was created. I will give you only one very recent example. On May 2, a group of journalists from many countries interviewed a group of evacuees from the Azovstal steel works. One of them, Natalya Usmanova, was very vocal and emotional. That's why she appeared in many footages. For example, she spoke with Reuters, and this agency published a short report with a video reel at its website. Here is the screenshot of this report from the website. You see it here. I will first read what Reuters journalists relayed from her interview. Natalya Usmanova felt her heart would stop. She was so terrified as Russian bombs rained down on Mariupol, sprinkling her with concrete dust. Then there is a quote. I feared that the bunker would not withstand it. I had terrible fear, Usmanova said. We didn't see the sun for so long, she said. She recalled the lack of oxygen in the shelters and the fear that had gripped the lives of people hunkered down there. Usmanova joked with her husband on the bus that they would no longer have to go to the lavatory with a torch. And then again the quote. You just can't imagine what we have been through. The terror, Usmanova said. I lived there, worked there all my life. But what we saw there was just terrible. And now let's watch the video reel that was published at Reuters' website.
Initially, there were around 50 people in our bomb shelter, and there were about 40 in the neighboring one. There were two of them placed like this, Department Number 1 and 2 bomb shelters. Roughly in March, people started leaving. It happened at the end of March. Maybe in April, people started to get out. Some of them got out. The shelling was so strong and it kept hitting near us. At the exit of the bomb shelter, at the top of the steps, you could breathe. There wasn't enough oxygen inside. I was afraid to even walk out and breathe some fresh air. I was afraid to stick my nose out. We came there by our own free will, as factory workers, to save ourselves. When we understood that it was getting closer to us, we got more and more scared and we tried to leave. We knew about the humanitarian corridors and we knew about the evacuation. We were not just let out. And when the shells started landing here, I thought my heart was going to stop and that I wouldn't survive.
What's the impression that you get from this coverage? Natalya Usmanova is terrified, frightened by Russian strikes. She must be hating Russia for what it did to Ukraine. Thank God she is safe and can go to Ukraine. That's what the impression that you get from watching this video reel and from reading the coverage on Reuters' website. But Reuters, in fact, heavily censored what she said in reality. So let's watch the remaining part of Natalya's account, which was shown in full on Russian TV.
Не знаю, можно такое говорить? Мы честно, мы запуганы, мы не знаем, что можно говорить, что нельзя говорить, честно. Украину не говорить все, что угодно. Украину не хочу, честно. У нас семья решила единогласно в Украину не хочу. Но если мы и решим вернуться, то только в Мариуполь, но не на Украину. То есть Украина как государство, да, вот как я гражданка Украины, ну, оно для меня умерло. Вот этими всеми людьми, кто с нами такой живет. Потому что, ну, я считаю, это тоже их вина в том, что они не договорились, правильно, не решили мирным путем этот конфликт изначально. Вот у меня вопрос, почему людей задержали в городе? То есть вы уже понимаете, начался обстрел, хотя мэр первый уехал с города. Мэр уехал, покинул город, а людей зажали в кольце, и стояла украинская армия, которая просто народ, обычное население, детей, стариков, больных не выпускали. Спрашивается, почему, зачем, за что?
So, colleagues, it's clear from this video reel what's the real mood of Natalya Usmanova, and it's really hard to comment this shameless manipulation. How will Western viewers learn the truth, especially when Russian TV channels, as we all know, are being banned from Western countries? Who is spreading propaganda here? Make a judgment yourself. And my personal remark, shame on you, Reuters. Instead of promoting journalism and freedom of speech and access to information, you choose the path of becoming soldiers of information war against Russia.